This is DRF Race of the Day. Hi, everybody. Dan Illman, Mike Beer, the DRF Race of the Day for Sunday, December the 19th. Race number 8 at the Big A. Let's throw up the field for the Queens County Stakes. We're going 1 1/8 miles, and you can download free Formulator past performances for this $125,000 stake on the Race of the Day event page at DRF.com. Access them, handicap along with us, and then play the race and the card with your DRF Bets account. Mike, nice to see some old hard hitters in this race, especially the two. Backside of the Moon. There's something comforting about watching Backside of the Moon at Aqueduct. It just shows that time passes, but some things stay the same.
Yeah, it feels like this horse has been around forever. He's actually been a really solid horse for a long time too, Dan. Hasn't won a race since he won the Queens County exactly a year ago with a 106 buyer.
Let's throw up the Timeform US pace projector for this race. There doesn't appear to be a lot of speed, and that could help the number 6, Empty Tomb, a horse that can be forwardly placed. Heck, he was a pace-pressing winner at a gigantic price last time out for a pretty underrated trainer. I wouldn't be surprised if this horse runs a good race if he's able to shake loose.
Yeah, and he's probably going to be a good price once again, Dan. I mean, sometimes you want to avoid these horses when they pay, almost $50 winning a race, and then they come right back. But it feels like this horse is going to be a good price again, and I do think he can make the lead.
You're to Blame's been around for a long time. Heck, he was 5th in the 2016 Remsen. He's been bouncing around stakes races. He likes distance. He also likes a race with a little bit of pace. He was 3rd last time out at Churchill Downs, first off the $80,000 Rob Atras claim. He still seems to be in pretty good form.
Yeah, I agree with you. I thought he ran really well last time, even though he could only manage 3rd at the end. I thought that was a good performance over a sloppy track. I really liked his win 2 starts back when he ran down Backside of the Moon. He was just relentless that day and kept coming right down to the wire. This horse is back in really good form. He's got plenty of races that make him really tough in here. Stretching back out to 9 furlongs is not going to be a problem for him. I thought there was a lot to like.
I think the pace projector says a lot with Backside of the Moon because he went gate to wire in the Queens County, the race you mentioned when discussing him in the Open. And since then, he's kind of been racing from off of the pace, but I still believe he does have that tactical speed. And if Empty Tomb is class compromised and Backside of the Moon can sit just off that one's moderate pace, there's a chance Backside of the Moon is in control of this turning into the stretch. And I know he's going to be 10 years old in a couple of weeks. He's still popping 90 buyers left and right.
Yeah, he's another one. He's gotten back in good form. A little bit of a dry spell there after the Queens County win last year. It does feel like he's back in good form. I thought he ran well 3 back. He didn't really have any excuse that day, Dan. He fought his way to the lead, and You're to Blame just would not stop coming after him, and this horse couldn't hold. But he ran fine, and he ran well again last time. I mean, Empty Tomb just sort of got to the front there and forgot to stop. This horse, he ran okay last time. It feels like he's going to be a playable price in here.
The 3 Bourbonic, winner of the Wood Memorial at Aqueduct over course and distance in the spring, is going to be facing older horses for the first time, but you can argue he's actually getting some class relief. He was in against 2 very promising 3-year-olds, Miles D and Speaker's Corner in the Discovery last time out, in the Pennsylvania Derby where he had no chance 2 back. The issue is his running style. He is a one-run closer that needs some help up front.
Yeah, true enough. I mean, we'll see if the race sets up for him. It doesn't seem like it's going to. It probably is class relief when you're just talking about the horses that, won and finished 2nd in his last 2 races. But this is not an easy spot for this horse. There are some good older horses in here, and he has to improve to beat them.
Atras also has the 4 Ali My Boy, second start off of a short layoff. Kind of made the first move last time out in that sloppy track race where he finished behind You're to Blame. And I wonder if it was a bit of an early move.
It might have been off of a little bit of a layoff there. I thought all in all, not only did he make a little bit of an early move down, but he was wide all the way around the track. I thought he ran pretty well last time, even though he wound up getting tired at the end. And that was, 2 wet track races in a row for him. When they switched him to dirt earlier this year at the fairgrounds, I thought he ran really well in winning those back-to-back races down there. I didn't even think his New Orleans Classic was a poor performance at all, and he missed time after that. I think this horse is a lot better than he looks on paper.
And more importantly, he has that tactical speed to stay close to the expected moderate pace. Sugar Ray 2, coming off about a 3-month layoff. This is a horse that got good at Parks earlier this year. I wonder if he actually wants a little bit more distance.
I think that's a fair assessment of him. I mean, his most recent couple of wins are races at a mile and a 16th. So, you feel like going shorter is not terrible for him, but his two fast races are when they stretched him all the way out. So, we'll see, where he fits with horses like this. I thought he was pretty hard to take in this race, Dan, but he's got a couple of figures that say he can be really tough.
Let's watch the last race from the expected speed, the 6 Empty Tune, going out for Mr. Falcone. This was a one-turn mile. He was 22-1 in this race. He was able to make the lead under Eric Cancel. They're coming after him right now. Here comes the 6-5 shot on the outside. And listen, you wouldn't fault Empty Tune for stopping right here and running second or third. He stays on very, very gamely. This by far was his best performance, a 97 buyer.
Yeah, I mean, he did run well in here. He did make the lead. It's not like he walked on the front end, though, Dan. I mean, he had some pressure all the way in this race. He managed to cut the corner to get away, and they just couldn't catch him. But Dan, I thought he ran fine. I don't love that field. So I'm actually surprised to see 7-2 on the morning line. I thought he was going to be like a good price right back. They have him actually pretty short here. We'll see if he takes that. If he takes that much money, I want no part of it.
Now, ever since the number 7 Bal Harbor ran at Del Mar, I've been in some therapy. And I've talked to some people, and I've finally gotten over this addiction that I've had with Bal Harbor for a long, long time. I mean, he hasn't won a race since the 2018 Gio Ponte Stakes. Now, maybe I'm getting off of him a little bit too early because he does have tactical speed, and he fits in this race from figures, from class. I don't know, Mike, how much money can I lose on a horse?
I don't know. I'm sure a little bit more. I mean, is it really possible to say you're getting off of him too early when he's on a 3-year losing streak? I don't think that's possible. Listen, he could win this race. He has races that would give him a real chance. And he does have a good running style for this race too. I could never bet him. Even with you off, Dan, I could not bet him.
Yeah. That's the biggest angle of them all, not just the fact that he's coming back from Del Mar off a graded race with tactical speed, consistent figures. I'm off.
Right.
He's in the winner's circle. Mystic Knight, the number 8, goes out for Chad Brown. And this horse, you could argue, has been a little bit of a disappointment. He's run some fast races, but he's been the beaten favorite in his last 3. Last time out at Keeneland, didn't think he got a lot of pace. He was in and among horses. He did what he usually did. He kind of just clunked on a little bit at the end. I think he's okay. I think he has enough tactical speed to stay within range. And if he's going to win a stake, it might be this one.
Maybe. Yeah, I don't mind him stretching back out either. I think longer might be better for him. I'll agree with the way that you put it, though, Dan. I think he's okay. I don't think he's that good. He's a horse who I think so far has been vastly overrated. He is 2 for 2 at Aqueduct, so I guess that could be a good thing for him. I will just point out that when he won, the last time he ran a mile and an 1/8 over this track, he earned a 99 buyer. It was a really impressive looking performance. It was also a wicked fast pace. I mean, if you just look at the fractions, they go 48-4, 114. You feel like maybe he overcame something there. They were flying in front of him. And I just felt like he took advantage that day. I don't hate his 3 races since then, but I don't love him either. And he's the morning line favorite. I can't bet him.
Forewarned occasionally runs a big race at a big price. His running style is an issue. He does not have any early speed. He's likely to be last after the opening quarter mile. He ran just fine last time out at Laurel, getting up for 4th. It's just, I think he actually wouldn't mind a 1.25 miles, and he certainly wouldn't mind a little bit more pace up front.
Yeah, it needs a little bit. He needs something to run at in here. The distance, I think, is fine for him. He's another horse. I actually feel like he's okay. And if he's some kind of huge price and you want to try to get him in there, I wouldn't argue with you. I just feel like he's hard to make a win this race.
Top pick time for the Sunday race of the day, the Queens County. Ali, my boy, has a little bit of upside, a little bit of tactical speed, and I agreed with your assessment on some of those fairgrounds races. I really liked some of those performances, and recently he's gotten out of the gate a lot better than he did when he was at the fairgrounds. So I think maybe he's putting it all together for a high percentage trainer.
That's exactly how I looked at it, Dan. I like him getting back to a fast track, too. Hopefully a fast track on Sunday. We'll see how that plays out. I just feel like he could take a step forward here, and I do think he's going to get the right trip if he can just sort of keep himself within range of the pace.
I do think Mystic Knight, like Ali My Boy, still has a little bit of upside. I'm not looking forward to the expected short price. I think 1.125 is good for him, and we'll see if Bal Harbor can get it done. 4187 for Mike, 8261 for me. It's the Sunday race of the day, the Queens County at the Big A. Play it with your DRF Bets account.